If you throw yourself out there as a fresh Wrath of Lich King server, probably like 5th Wrath of Lich King server released this year, and it's only June, you have to expect to be compared to the rest of the private servers running on the same expansion as you are. I'm not going to be super nice if there are glaring issues, but I will try to be fair. I've updated my script for this video so many times already, because the early launch was straight up terrible. One of the worst I have experienced, and I have experienced many fresh server launches. It took several minutes for you to even get in game. First I was stuck on the login screen, as most other players were, then on the character creation. It wasn't until like 7 minutes after the server launch when I was finally able to get in. And then the server crashed, just few seconds after that. At this point I was ready to quit and call it a big fail. But I didn't have enough footage for this video, so I was patiently waiting. And it paid off. After a while, server became much more stable and did pretty well for the rest of the evening, without major stability issues. The server seemed to have a pretty solid uptime since half hour after the launch. I would like to address all the people that swear that STORMFORGE's Wrath of Lich King is gonna be way better than Warmane. That Warmane scripting is garbage. Well, this was day 1. And Warmane so far is winning in every single aspect. The Frostmourne 3's launch on Warmane was not without issues, but they handled it much better. You were able to log in on time and get in game as soon as the server was up, despite it having way higher population. So an excuse from STORMFORGE like, there are too many people logging in, that's why the server is having issues. If you don't expect a lot of players, you will never have them. Even if you could, they're gonna leave because of a terrible experience. That's what most private servers do wrong, and that's what Warmane does right. Nobody expected STORMFORGE to be competitive as far as the population goes, so that's not a surprise. It was just about as I expected and predicted in my STORMFORGE Wrath of the Lich King announcement video a while back. There were just below 2,000 people on launch at 6 PM, and the population increased up to 3,000 in the span of the evening. However, I did not expect so many issues. Being stuck on the login screen, then on character creation, and then the server crashing. Even Sunwell Sindragosa that released just a few days ago was far better at launch, but very comparable in terms of population and its future. Both Sindragosa and Fordring will be empty Wrath of Lich King servers. I would be very surprised if they survived with even a couple hundred people after the first month. Very surprised. Very reminiscent of Tori's Crystal song, you can see how that one ended up. But still, I would be more than happy if STORMFORGE's Fordring proved me wrong and actually did well. Even the second day after the launch, on Saturday early morning, there's already over 1,000 players online at 9 AM, which is not bad. Fordring is a progressive, fresh Wrath of Lich King realm, starting from 3.0 content with 5-man dungeons and heroics available immediately. Arena Season 5, Deadly, and Tier 7 raids including Naxxramas, Eye of Eternity, Obsidian Sanctum, and Vault of Archivon will open exactly 2 weeks from launch on the 15th of June. It is a PvP type realm, so you can fight players of opposing faction in World PvP. There are ×5 leveling rates for levels 1 to 68, and then ×3 for levels 68 to 80. ×3 profession rates for skill levels 1 to 375. Spells will be auto-learned automatically. You don't have to visit your class trainer and pay for learning your spells. Writing skills are cheaper. Dungeon Finder is available. And there's a racial swap feature, so you're able to switch your racial abilities to those of another race. It might prove difficult for some people to level with ×5 or ×3 XP rates, since most of us are already used to the ×7 rates which many other Wrath servers have. You can buy additional experience boosts on the donate shop though. Few things I would like to see from the server are a couple more custom features. We know that the 3v3 solo queue is not the way. Such thing needs more active players. However, a 2v2 solo queue might be something they could consider, since they've already implemented their 3v3 solo queue on Mistblade. They have experience in doing it. Also 1v1 arenas, such as those on Crystal Song, or raided battlegrounds. Things like this could attract some new players and increase the overall activity on the server. And it's something that other Wrath servers don't have. Unlike Mythic Dungeons, for instance, that Warmane already has, but a Mythic Plus option would be even more amazing. But that would take a lot of work, I'm sure. If Fordring could distinguish themselves from the 100 other Wrath servers, not in terms of scripting. Scripting is good enough on Tori's Crystal Song, on Sunwell's Syndragoza, on Whitemane, on Dalaran, yet they all have no players because the difference between a 95% and a 98% functional server is negligible. Let's end this video on a positive note. It was nice to have Crisis, the community manager, in the voice chat on launch with the rest of the player base, talking and informing people about what's going on. Crisis is the MVP. He does a really good job communicating and I appreciate his work. And even though the launch was far from ideal, there are some things that are hard to predict and even the best server can make a mistake. Let's hope the leveling and endgame experience are gonna be better. There are players of different nationalities. You should have no problem finding people to play with or guilds from all over the world. I have seen players from Poland, Hungary, Southern America and so on. Faction balance is really good. There's more Horde than Alliance. It ranges between 43 to 57 and 49 to 51 Alliance to Horde ratio. Worth mentioning is also that Stormforge addressed some of the things I was still missing on the server even months after Mistblade's launch. One of which was the missing character armory and PvP ladder. They have since addressed this and they made an incredible website not just with the armory and PvP ladders, but also PvE ladders and a lot more data and statistics. It is not accessible from the main Stormforge website though, so you will have to go to stormforgelogs.pt. To conclude, releasing the Wrath of Lich King expansion by Stormforge was probably the easiest expansion for them to do. So if they want to be known for multiple expansions, this was an easy step. But I don't think it was necessary and I would much rather see them focusing just on Mists of Pandaria and investing their time and resources there. Stormforge's Mistblade is still the best Mists of Pandaria private server at the moment. It's active with between 3,000 and 4,000 players online at peak and is perfectly scripted. It is certainly a realm that I can recommend. When I think about Stormforge, I want to think of their Mistblade realm. This Fordring realm is not special and it doesn't shine amongst other Wrath of Lich King private servers. It's just another fresh Wrath. At least that's what it seems like for now. We will see what the future brings for Fordring and what they want to do with it. If I had to choose a Wrath of Lich King server to play on, it would definitely be Warmane and either one of their realms depending on what content I want to do. And Warmane is the only Wrath of Lich King server that I will continue playing on for now. But that is just my decision. You can make your own according to what kind of gameplay you prefer. Maybe you like to play on smaller servers, in which case Fordring could be considered, but again, I can't promise you a future for this realm.